In last month's edition, our camera was at the Blue Mountains of New South Wales on Saturday, July 22nd, 2017, when the area was celebrating the 150th anniversary of the first steam train crossing the mountains as far as Wentworth Falls. Here, we're at the Valley Heights Locomotive Depot, after New South Wales Rail Museum's 3642 headed back to Penrith on one of its shuttle runs. Here we see the museum's 060 shuttle tank Stevo with the Valley Heights mixed, which was a common thing to see on small country branch lines. We travel behind the locomotive across the museum's track. Stevo will now be heading back to the station from the museum, where we departed earlier. After our shuttle journey, we take a look at some of the exhibits that are on display in the roundhouse. This here is a SIC, an abbreviation of the Supervisor's Inspection Car, which were built in the early 1960s until Goulburn Perway Workshops, who built these, closed in the early 1980s. These were made for track inspection. The next item is New South Wales Government Railway 32 Class Locomotive 3214 in beautiful green livery. The locomotive entered service in 1892, but as a P-Class locomotive. At that time, it was P492, and then later renumbered as P465, until by 1924, during the New South Wales Government Railways renumbering scheme, it was renumbered as it is today. While the 32 class locos were being withdrawn from railway service in the 1960s, 3214 was one of the handful that survived during the 1970s until it was withdrawn in 1970. It was later saved by the New South Wales Rail Transport Museum at Enfield and operated various tour trains in that decade. It even helped hauling exhibits from the Enfield location to Thelmere in 1975 to make way for a container depot, which never happened. But 3214 was later withdrawn in 1982 due to deteriorating boiler conditions and had become a static exhibit ever since. It was then transferred to Valley Heights in 2005 and is now restored as a static exhibit. Sydney Steam Tram 103A was built in 1891 and operated for many years on the former Parramatta Park Steam Tramway until 1993, when an arson attack happened, destroying all stock. Luckily, 103A was salvaged despite its cab being incinerated. It was then moved to Valley Heights for restoration and to be fitted with a new cab. 5461 is the New South Wales Government Railway D53 class goods locomotive. In 1916, it was originally known as a TF class loco prior to the renumbering scheme of 1924. Despite being a 53 class loco, the engine carries the number 4. However, it's still regarded as a D53. Although they were proven unpopular with railwaymen who rechristened the pre-1924 number TF as terrible failures. The problem was the locos being unbalanced, which caused speed restriction to avoid rough riding and track damage. 5461, though, in particular, has unlikely claim to fame by crews as the worst of them all. Steve-O now departs Valley Heights Locomotive Depot once again and be making its way up to the Worcester Station and the museum's tracks. On this journey, the locomotive will meet up with 3642 once again. (4601) is the New South Wales Government Railway 46 class loco, built by Bosefield Works, and its electrical supplies are from Metropolitan Vickers, Stockton-on-Tees in the UK. It arrived to Sydney in May 1956 and was launched a month later with a demonstration run with guests from Sydney to Penrith. It was then withdrawn from railway service in May 1994 for preservation. During August, Australian Railway Historical Society's ACT's 460-3016, who was on loan to the New South Wales Rail Museum, is coming into Gordon, as it was doing shuttle journeys from Hornsby on Saturday, August 12, 2017. 4490 from the New South Wales Rail Museum is seen pulling into the station and will be assisting for the return trip. 3016 will now depart for Hornsby. We leave Gordon Station and see 3016 at Sydney Central Station next day, on Sunday, August 13th, 2017. This time it's doing shuttle trips to Eastwood on the main Western Line for Rail Safety Week. Along with the Sydney Trains Waratah set, and the New South Wales Rail Museum's Thomas the Tank Engine, both on display to promote rail safety. We will now conclude Rail Around New South Wales for September, with 3016 now departing on its first shuttle trip to Eastwood.